10.
I love
Um,
it.
and I bought it from a street vendor. And it's the only purchase I've ever gotten from a street vendor. Was
Really?
Got my YOLO hat.
My best
I
street
still have
vendor
a
purchase
sticker
was
on it.
after volunteering with the New York Roadrunners. My phone had completely fucking died, and I found a vendor that was selling fully charged
Uh-huh.
reusable phone batteries that like plug into the wall with cables, and it was the exact amount of cash that I had on me.
No way.
You still use it. You still bring it places.
I
That's
do because it's a
the
it's really
best
good,
purchase
and
you
I
can ever
like that
make.
you don't need any kind of adapter to plug it in. It just goes right into the wall outlet.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just trying to fix something.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Katie, what's the best thing you ever bought from a street vendor in New York City?
And now you gotta tell us.
From a street vendor,
Yep.
I think I got like a fake, probably like a Gucci or a Fendi bag when I was like 13 in Chinatown.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
It was like $20, you know?
Honestly, I
Ever
just
go
thought
on
it was probably
one of
$20 too.
did you ever go on
I
like a
got
really
I definitely got ripped off. Let's be real.
I mean, you're still using it, so.
Yeah, I've only worn it like 3 times.
I like it.
This
I
was
think it's
this
cute.
is when like YOLO was like everyone was saying YOLO, and
Yeah.
not ironically like we do now.
Oh, it's ironic when you say it.
I think
Well,
so.
YOLO now is like a throwback, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's just like, oh, I'm gonna go shopping today, YOLO. Like
YOLO.
now I just say it. That's ironically.
I like it. I like when people say it now more than I like when they said it
When it
then.
was overdone, when it first came out, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I feel like I have to pick a hat. I have hats all over this fucking room, but of course
Yeah,
I'm
I
like
thought this was a hat podcast.
racked with indecision.
We have to wear a hat every week now. I feel like that's what we
Yeah,
have to do.
I'm running low on fun hats. I got like two, so.
I literally have
No,
a
you definitely
wall
have
of
just like
hats in this
you
room.
definitely have just like running hats, right?
Oh yeah, I
They're
got the
all
whole
over,
care.
but like
I
this
have
one,
the
the
care
color
package
doesn't
that
work
they
right
gave us
now.
too.
I like that hat. Is that a run happy?
It is. It's just like the
It's
color didn't sit well on the camera. The lighting in this room is abysmal, so
It's so bright in there, that's why.
I have a wine and dine 2018
Ooh, nice.
with featuring a hidden
Ooh,
Mickey.
Oh my God, I love that.
I like it. I like it.
It's very cute.
All right.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
I'm taking my hat off because I feel like I can't see my face with it on.
Take it off.
Take it off. Woo! Welcome to week 2.
Oh
We
yeah, we're
do, here
back.
we are.
One of you guys gets to do a nice intro this week because I did it last week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the spot.
No, Kelly, you're so good at the intros. You have to do it. You're the HBIC here.
Mike, I know that you were a thespian in high school.
And all through college, but
Come on, Mike, go.
I'm not an improv kind of guy. Hi, welcome back to week 2 of the DNS runners. We're wearing hats except for Kelly.
Yeah.
Who was wearing a hat?
I have my built-in hat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, I should have done that today. I forgot I got 2 built in right here. Sunglasses up top and everything.
One day I will fix the lighting in this room and then I'll be capable of wearing a hat and still looking at the screen at the same time.
Yeah. For real. And
what?
is it like officially week 1 for everybody for training?
Yeah, I guess we are officially in training at this point.
Right? Because we're this like last weekend marked 20 weeks out.
Yeah, which is
Well, we did our first long run last weekend. We
Okay.
started a little bit early just to take into account like trips or a weekend where I got to skip.
Yeah,
know,
I always
I-
try to build in 1 or 2 extra weeks to my training blocks just because ever since 2019, when I was
Yeah.
training for the Chicago Marathon the first time I was supposed to run it,
Yeah.
I did not do that, went on my honeymoon, ran on a treadmill cruise ship, and
Oh,
ruined my
Well, that's
knee.
when you messed up
So
your. That's
now,
when you
right.
messed up your knee. Mm-hmm.
so
You
now
know what's funny too? Like, I think back in 2020 when we became friends, you always told me that you added in like a week or 2 buffer.
yeah.
Yep.
So I've always done that myself. And for some reason this year I just didn't. And now I'm thinking like, oh my God, when I go to South Carolina in August, I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna have to run a 20-mile run.
Well,
And the
how about
loop the loop is 1.78 miles.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have an easy water stop every lap?
Oh yeah. The good thing is that I've done 16 there. So, and it's so boring. You're literally looking at the same thing that whole time. But at least I can stop at the pool. I use like the pool shower and like soak my head, and then my dad will like have waters for me
Aw.
or whatever, which is good. But God,
Yeah.
is it boring to do a less than 2 mile loop for that long?
I did one of my long runs for Berlin last year. Can't remember what I was doing, but I needed to do like 16 miles.
Yeah,
And instead of going to like Bethpage, like which would have been a smart idea, it was also like late in the day, so I was like, let me not go to the trail.
yeah.
I went to the local track and just ran in a circle.
Oh,
I ran
I
I was
remember.
16
did
times
you change
4.
direction?
I'm not doing that math right now.
I remember. I
Uh,
remember when you did this.
And it wasn't even okay. I saw you guys the next day because then we went to the track when um we had to change locations like 3 times because of basketball, because of
Oh,
football.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
I saw you
yeah.
guys the next day, and I was like, you were like, oh, we're doing like a 3 mile like track workout. And I'm like, I can try. I just did 16 on the track yesterday, but whatever. But it wasn't even like a good track that I ran on because the track was like more cement because it was Memorial's track.
Did you go to Memorial for this?
So I ran there. No, I didn't even run there. I just drove there. Like,
Oh my God. That's awful.
yeah, not my proudest
It was
moment, but
self-hatred.
yeah.
That is
On the plus side, like my
self-hatred.
car was there and like did my phone. I was listening to my audiobook. My phone died, so I had to like turn my car on and just run in circles, charging my phone in my car because I didn't bring a portable charger like a smart person.
Lord
I
Almighty.
did run into my aunt there though. She decided she was gonna go for a jog that night and decided to go to the track. So like I caught her every like couple laps. I'd catch up, and then I did my cool down walk around with her.
I think
That's
that
dedication though, because like I would never, you could not pay me running money to run that long on a track.
I mean, I've done it on a treadmill too, so
okay, I was gonna say,
I
would
know.
you rather long run on the treadmill or long run on a track?
Track.
okay. Treadmill,
I'm Camp Treadmill.
Oh
treadmill.
my God. I would do anything in the world to avoid
I
using my treadmill.
I've
I've
literally done a 20
on
miler
though.
on a
I'll
treadmill.
watch a movie. That's how I caught up in One Piece. When I tell you One Piece was my treadmill show for so long, I watched easily hundreds of episodes while I was running.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like the greatest anime of all time.
Katie, I have
Okay.
terrible news. Your phone just heard One Piece, and now you're gonna get ads for it all the time.
Yep.
That's 100% true.
Welcome.
I
Welcome.
remember when I first joined like Landshark, and everyone would be talking about like, oh, I did this run, like I ran, 12 miles on my treadmill. And like I had just gotten the Peloton treadmill. And like I promised my husband I would use it. Like, but I wasn't going to. So it happened to be snowing and I was with the baby and I was like, you know what? I have to do a 10-mile run. I'm just gonna do it on the treadmill. It was the longest run of my entire life. I watched myself go from like a good person with like loving intentions to just like a person filled with hatred. And I
Well,
swore I would never do the treadmill again. And I don't think I have. I used it for like walking when I was pregnant.
what was it? When the Long Island Half did its virtual challenge, I
Yeah.
did the 5K, the 10K, and the half on my
We both
treadmill.
did because
Yeah,
it was like during
because you
COVID
got
when
the
they
extra set of medals.
yeah.
So you're like, hey, you want them? I'll give them to you if you run.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, how about you give them to me and then I promise I will run.
Yeah.
And Jude made sure to document me running. So
Oh my
after
God.
everyone he took a picture of me holding my medal.
That's
Yeah, because that was in the part of COVID where they were like, running spreads COVID worse than anything else
yes.
does.
Yes, so there was like there weren't even races with our weird staggered starts yet. Like there were
Yeah,
just no
no.
races.
This
And it was
was
like
just
when
like
you
you're
did
doing
go
it from home
outside,
or you're not doing it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like when they had us all thinking you couldn't be outside or
It was
inside or
wild.
anywhere, really.
Like I remember I would go for runs like during COVID, just on the streets,
Yeah.
avoiding people. but like I was still wearing a buff because because we didn't
That's
know
what they told us.
no one knew anything. So it
Yeah.
was like I wasn't near a single person.
Yeah. I
Like
did
even when
the
Jude and I were running together, we would run 6 feet apart. Like
yeah.
despite the fact that we spend all day together. Like when we were running, we made sure we were
It
just
made no sense. Like
and
it
we just
just made no
instinctually did that.
Yeah,
Like
but
that
then
wasn't
think
even
about
just
like just think about what we went through like as runners, like not knowing like are we allowed to
Mhm.
like I always think about that like I would meet up with people to go running and like I would be like I want to be respectful of how they
Yeah.
might feel about it. So let's keep like my distance. But then I would just go to the fucking supermarket and be with strangers.
Yep.
Right?
Hmm.
Like none of it made sense. It was a confusing time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm still
Yep.
confused about it. Here we are 4 years later.
Hmm.
Still don't
I
know.
also think
Me
back
too.
to I was at a point in my life where like I could casually run 10 plus miles.
Yeah.
And I was not sleeping at the beginning of COVID. Like I had met up with Mike and Mikhail and we
Mhm.
ran the New York City half virtually because that was like the first canceled race that we dealt with.
I remember that.
Yeah, because we ran it virtually and then we sat 6 feet apart from each other in Mike's backyard and ate bagels.
Yep.
And then after that was really like everything shut down. Running was the worst.
Uh-huh.
I was afraid to go anywhere and I was living with my in-laws at the time and I was still running with my dad pretty consistently. And I had not slept in like 3 nights straight because my anxiety was so fucking bad.
Hmm.
And it was
Hmm.
like 4:30 in the morning. And my father is up at 4:30 in the morning. He is that
Yeah.
kind
I believe that.
of
A
and I
100%.
remember texting him and being like, I don't know if I'm allowed to even ask this, but do you want to go for a really long run? He was like, yeah. And I drove to my dad's house before 5 a.m. and we went out for like 12 miles and then I slept the rest of the day.
Uh-huh.
Good.
I did the Goggins challenge like
What's
in the
that?
height of the
I think I
pandemic.
know that one, but what is that one?
I did it's 4 by 4 by 4
Oh, right, right,
four
right,
by
right,
four by
right.
48.
Okay, that's why I know
And I
it.
did it to raise funds for the first responders. So I wanted to do like local police precincts, like get them, I wanted to help them in some way. I did nursing homes for the workers there, whatever. But I remember doing it like every time, every 4 hours, someone would be like, okay, I'm going to come do this run with you. But we would always be like running somewhat far apart from each other.
Yeah.
And it was always so awkward. And then we'd finish the run and we'd like sit on opposite ends of the lawn. Like it was just so weird,
Yeah.
you know?
Product of
Oh,
the
Weird times.
times.
Those were the times, guys.
Thank goodness we are beyond that, even if we are not completely beyond COVID at this
It's just,
point.
I mean, thanks to COVID, my therapist is very rich. So
I think most therapists wound up with a completely full docket because everybody being forced to spend that much time alone made them realize how fucked up they are.
100%. 100%. Running almost wasn't enough anymore.
I
Right?
think that was the last time I consistently strength trained because there was just
Was
nothing
it?
else to do.
There was nothing else to do.
that's
I
when we were doing
remember.
all the challenges with Peloton too.
Guys,
Yeah.
Dennis did strength work with me during
Did
COVID.
he?
Yes. Dennis
I,
did a 100-mile bike ride during COVID
oh
I
my
remember
God.
that.
inside on a trainer.
I remember that.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
I do remember this.
That was crazy. I
Yeah.
remember like, I don't know, 6 nights out of 7 nights a week, I would be like, okay, my baby's sleeping. It's 9:30. Let me go into the gym and I'll work out and then I'll do an hour of hot yoga. Like it would like nothing made sense.
There
You
were
know?
no rules
No.
except the house.
Yep. Don't go anywhere. Just make sure you go insane while you're inside.
All right. So, what was your guys' best part of training this week and worst part of training this week?
Okay. Mike,
Uh,
you can go first.
okay. So my best part of training was I went out on, I believe it was Tuesday. I'm losing track of days. No, it was Monday because I had no school. So I went out on Monday and I got about 4 miles in. I felt great about it. It was beautiful out. And then it poured the rest of the day, but I managed to get out before it started pouring, so I was happy about that.
Yeah.
I'll say the low part of my training this week was I didn't finish that the Stronger You program in time. So it
Oh,
only count. I did 45 out of 48 of the classes because I was like, oh, I didn't think it was gonna go away. So
I hate that.
Oh,
then
is
I
that
had to go back.
Peloton?
Yeah, I was so annoyed 'cause I was busy. Like I
Ugh.
did my training on Monday and then I was like, okay, I have one more day of classes left. I'll do them on Tuesday. And then Tuesday just got away from me. So I was like, oh, I'll do them Wednesday. And then I went to go in and it was like, oh, well, you didn't finish it in the allotted time.
Oh,
So you're not gonna get credit for them, but you can still take them. I'm like,
oh, that's so
but I'm gonna take
annoying.
them because like for myself I need to finish this. I was just bummed I didn't get to like get the congratulations, you finished the program with all
Right.
like I wanted that 100% achievement rate over there, but
100. Yeah,
That's
that's
so
so annoying.
close too.
I
Yep.
know I literally did 3.75 weeks of this.
Oh my goodness.
Am I
That's
gonna do the stronger
annoying.
you too? Yeah, because that kept me consistent on strength training. I
That's
don't know what
good.
it entail, but like that's what I realized, and Jude's realized that too. I'm when I have a challenge or
Hmm.
a program that I'm working with, I'm much more regimented in what I'm doing, and I'm less likely to skip. I'm less likely to
Yeah,
take the day off if I know that I have a schedule to keep.
right.
So
I mean, I think that that's very common for most of us.
yeah,
If I know that I'm being like held accountable for it, I'm gonna show
exactly.
up.
It's the accountability.
That is
Yeah.
why I suggested this whole thing.
Well, you go, Kel. You're next.
Um, okay, I'm trying to think of what I even did this week. Okay, I'm going to count last weekend in this week's trainings. We haven't talked since
That's
then.
true.
So
Okay.
my high point is getting out and doing our first long run
Mhm.
for the Chicago cycle. It was,
Mhm.
we wound up doing like a little under 4.5 miles.
Yep.
Okay.
Starting point, but I'm happy that we actually showed up and we got out and we did it. We went somewhere and we did it,
Yeah.
which to me is a bonus because I like not running by my house.
Yeah.
I did the cartwheel.
Yeah.
You did do a cartwheel. It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Mike did not only one cartwheel,
Oh yeah. With
he
the
did like
multiple takes.
8 cartwheels
Yeah, multiple takes.
I mean,
as
that's
strangers walk by.
oh, I would have loved to be there for that, to be
I
honest.
I wish that one of the strangers had been like, "What the hell are these people doing?"
I mean, they were definitely thinking it. That one guy
Oh,
that was pushing
100%.
behind us, the one who he saw us do it like 3 times. He was definitely, "Mm, did we find an influencer in the wild over here?"
Something about me is that I have no shame.
Oh yeah, I did. If I
Who
cared,
cares,
if
right?
I cared, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I'm having fun and therefore I don't care what you think.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Um,
All right. So what was your flip side?
there you go. And then I'm gonna say my low point for the week. Um, I did not do core every day like I wanted to.
Okay.
Because my stomach was weird, my baby doesn't sleep, and these things
Two,
happen.
two
Yeah.
things you have to take into accountability.
Yeah, unfortunately. I did do some strength, just not as much as I wanted to.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's kind of smart though that you didn't like over exert yourself if you're not
Yeah, you didn't
getting
push
proper
farther than you
sleep.
needed to.
Yeah, that's the whole thing is you got to do the return on investment with it.
100%.
Come on, I have this thing telling me about my body battery now.
Wait, I did. Oh my God. Okay. My high this week. Do I have one? I went this morning. So today was my third day of running. I'm doing 4 days of running a week.
Same.
Today was my third day. I generally run with the same group of either just one man or a group of men every time I run. And the downside of that for me is that they're all triathletes. So now that it's warming up, like I'm gonna see them a little bit less. So I would actually say that like the high for me was that today I had to go out and run by myself.
Okay.
I'm so used to having someone like holding me accountable at like a super early hour. It makes it so easy for me to just leave, like to get out the door and go. I
Mhm.
said last night to myself, okay, I'm getting up at 4:30. I'm going to be out the door at 5:30. I'm going to get this run in. I knew that I had to do strength training right after. So for the first time probably ever, I was actually out the door when I said I would be, knowing that I was alone. And sometimes I think it's really nice to run by yourself. Like it was so nice to like not have to try to keep up with anybody or like,
Mhm.
I was just like listening to Taylor Swift and enjoying myself the whole time. It was nice. So that was my high.
All right, wait, be honest. Were you listening
Mhm.
to Tortured Poets Department for the 800th time or a different album?
Torture Poets Department. Always. It's like I literally just it's constant now. It's really almost sad. I listened to that and then towards the end of the run when I like finally wanted to like move a little bit faster, I threw on like my regular rap. So that was my high and then my low. I'm still finding the balance of like I've been doing such consistent strength training, but I'm still trying to find the balance of when to really push my strength training, knowing that I have to run the next day. And on Wednesday, I felt like really good with my strength training. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go a little heavier than I normally would. So I went a little heavier, felt great throughout. But then Thursday came and I had my speed work for the week. And like almost immediately I felt it in my body that like I pushed too hard the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So my speed work really was rough yesterday. I didn't hit like the paces I hoped I would hit. Of course, the second I left the house, the monsoon ended and like the sun came out like for the duration of my run and immediately went away the second I was done running. So I was like hot, my body was tired. So that was my down this week. I'm still trying to like catch on to like how to balance, but it's only week 1. We've got time.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Yep. What does everyone have to run this weekend?
6.
6.
6.
I will likely be running it on Monday though. Either Monday or late in the day on Sunday.
Okay, because you're solo for the weekend.
I'm solo for the weekend. My husband is off camping somewhere in the woods.
Okay. And I mean, it's even just exhausting being solo for the weekend. So, like to be honest.
It is the first time that I am truly solo parenting for more.
No way! Congratulations, Cal.
And of course, like, you know, I have plans to go to Chicago for a weekend in September. That's the first time that we were saying like, okay, I'm gonna be out of town. We have to learn to like do these things solo as we have other obligations in our existence.
Yeah.
Today at work, I might have to go to Georgia this month for 1 or 2 nights to go to Hostess. So
No way.
yeah.
Wow, okay.
Might be happening a little earlier.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
You know what? Like from someone who's had experience now and was so scared to like leave her child.
When you bent forward, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
sorry. From someone who like has the experience now of being like fearful of leaving their child, I think it's good if you do it sooner than later.
Yeah, like I can remember the first time my mom left me and my brothers because I was probably like 10 before she ever did that.
Right.
And
Right.
it was really, really hard. And I don't think it's bad to have like some amount of balance in your life where you can be committed to other things other than just being a parent. Not that there's anything wrong with, you know.
Of course, but you need to also have things, you need to have things for yourself and you need to like you, not your baby, but you need to know that you can leave.
Yeah.
You know, I waited until my son was like 3 to leave him for longer than 5 hours. Like and it was like really hard because I was like, he was like my appendage, you know?
Yeah.
So like, and now with Carolina, I like, she came out and I was like, does anyone want to babysit for a month? So do it while you can. And it's important for your kids to see too, that like they are okay when you're not around.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the first time that I left him with my parents when I went back to work after maternity leave, he was like 4 months old about. And, you know, obviously I was upset when I left, but he was little enough that like really didn't know the difference going or not. And I was like, is he gonna notice? But he like knows my parents. So it wasn't like the biggest shell shock.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he's 9 months old and half the time he doesn't care. Like I would say 1 to 5 days he's aware that I'm leaving and is like, no, you have to hold me for an extra minute.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh my God, Nana's here.
That's what I'm saying. That's so
I'm
great.
not
Like
there.
he loves
Yeah.
your parents so much that like it's okay when you leave him,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's
And
great.
And we have the days that like it's a little bit more difficult because he is being a little bit more attached to me. If like he doesn't want Nana, he'll take no then. Like one of the two will work.
Yeah, yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah. Carolina, like, she's so good with my in-laws. Like she's my mother-in-law is Carolina's best friend. Like they are like ride or die homies, which is the
Oh,
cutest thing in the entire world. It's my favorite thing too, because I waited too long with Bryce to like allow other people to care for him. So it was like very hard anytime I had to leave him. And like Carolina, like since she was little, I've just been like, okay, every week this is what we're doing, like you're going to
That schedule is
grandma's.
set up.
It's
social
great. It's
Yeah.
good. All
button.
right, next. What are we doing next here? I could talk about my kids all night, but I don't want to.
A child podcast.
Um, did you want to do the would you rathers? I brought up
We
the
can do the would
I
you
brought up
Yeah,
some
do it
pages.
up.
Okay, so this is from womensrunning.com.
Okay.
It's a bunch of would you rathers in regards to running.
Okay, let's do
So
it.
first one, would you rather run with someone who's very chatty or someone who's silent?
I'm in the chatty camp. I'll even listen to Mike talk about his D&D campaigns. I'm
I have like three
Okay.
things I talk about. I only do three things that aren't running. So if I'm not talking about running, it's one of the
he
other three things. Other
watches
two things.
cats, he listens to Taylor Swift, and he plays D&D.
Yeah, that
Okay.
that's me
So
in a
I'm
nutshell.
guessing Mike is in the chatty category too, then.
Yeah, I enjoy a good conversation.
Hmm. I feel like I don't know because I can go either way. It depends on who I'm with and like maybe
Okay.
how early in the morning it is. Like I don't
Oh,
know.
that's that's a valid
know.
point. Yeah.
There's been days where like Ken and I Ken, for everyone, he is both my coach and my like best running friend. Like he's like my ride or die pave pal.
That's his old treadmill.
Is it?
Yes.
That's awesome. Um, we've been running together for 4 years. We're at the point of like being comfortable with each other where there's days where we're either talking the entire time we run, or there's days where we hardly say hello to each other, but we like run near each other and like it's just silent the whole time.
Mhm.
Like I could just some mornings I'm like, we don't need to talk to each other. you know. So
Yeah,
I
and
don't know. I don't know. I think
that's
it
a good
depends
level
on
of
the
comfort.
day.
That's someone that's like that's a good thing that you
Yeah.
can go both ways, even with the same person.
Have you
Yeah,
ever had
that's right.
have you ever had the experience where like you're on a run with somebody you don't know that well and it's just like terribly, terribly awkward and you both like keep trying to start the conversation. It just like never quite goes and it just becomes like, I don't know if I keep trying or if I just like
It's
run
so
hard enough that I
bad.
can't
Because
talk.
one of my topics has to land.
It's
It
so
can't
bad.
all
And
be
it's always
duds.
like you start so surfacey where you're like, oh, the weather today. You know what I mean? Like you have the same conversation you have with like the barista at Starbucks, you know? Like it's just
I'm also like terrible about so like I can have people that like I've run with a ton, like I've worked out with them, we've had great workouts together, we've chatted, but then like you put me in a social setting and I'm like, I cannot exist.
I have to say, like you guys and then like a handful of other of our running friends are like the only people that I feel like completely normal with when I'm not running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some people that like outside of the sport, it's almost like you feel like you guys never met each other before.
Yeah, and it's like in theory, like we should get along. Like everything we've talked about in the sport, we've like commiserated well. We seem to have
Mhm.
similar values, and then I'm in this social setting, and I'm like, I'm gonna quietly eat this meatball,
How do I hold a conversation?
and that's why
Exactly.
I bring my.
Memoir of my life.
Yeah, it's true. It's weird. Runners are all weird. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we're a different breed.
Yeah. All right.
All right, next one. How would you rather? So I'm gonna alter this one a little bit because the question is, would you rather run with no socks or no sports bra? But that doesn't apply to me there. So if you want to answer it that way, I'm gonna answer it as no socks or no compression gear.
Okay.
You to answer how
Equivalent,
you
I would say.
what?
That's equivalent, I would say.
Yeah. So I would say, God, 'cause I hate when I see people running like in sandals or not, like obviously more power to you if that's what you want to do. I'm not bashing nothing, but I don't so when people who do barefoot runs or when I saw someone running in flip-flops and I don't know how that um I don't know how that works. because has it not fall off? But I've also known the pain of chafing. But as long as I'm wearing shoes, I'd say no socks.
Does it count if you have like one of the pairs of shoes that are like a sock liner, like when they're like taller on your ankle?
Ooh.
Like can I
But
wear a
does it go?
sneaker
But does the sock go around your
It
foot?
just has to be no sock that you would get out of your drawer. It doesn't matter what shoes you have on.
Okay.
Yeah. So just no socks on your feet.
So
I'd go no socks because I chafed in the worst ways. So
I'd go no socks too. No socks for me.
So I'll say like before I had a baby, I would have said no sports bra because I am somebody who once upon a time realized I was wearing like a demi bra halfway through a run, like touched it and was like, oh, this is really soft. Oh, this is not a sports bra. But I'm breastfeeding now and I could not run without a bra on. There is no way.
My post baby body, like I have no boobs, but I still do have boobs that drastically changed after pumping
Oh
for a
yeah,
year. So like
100%.
I need a sports bra.
Maybe that's
So,
what the emergency tape was for.
it could have been just to hold me up just a little,
Please, what if the sports bra was forgotten?
Yeah.
all right. What about would you rather run in the freezing cold or the sweltering heat?
We all agree. Cold.
Cold.
Give me cold.
100%.
3 layers.
I'll put screws in the bottom of my shoes before I agree to the humidity.
Have you guys seen I think it's in Alaska that they have a marathon where these people like straight up are in like Eskimo suits and they're like with the poles.
Oh wait, yes. Some of the a friend of mine ran a half marathon where she had like everyone who was running the race had like the tracks on their shoes, and some
Yes.
people brought the sticks. She was
Yes.
in I can't remember where she was for that. I think it was like Minnesota or something. It was somewhere in the northern US and it was free. Like she was like everyone was slipping on the ice.
I want to do it. Like that's my dream. I just want to be fucking cold for that long, you know?
I mean, you know me, I'd be in layers. I'd be layered up.
You
So I'd be nice
would.
and
I could be
I'd
like
be
the little
comfortable
kid
no
that's in
matter
a
what it was.
star-shaped snowsuit where it like they
Yeah,
can't
that'd be me. I'd be in the Christmas story.
That's really what it looks like. Look it up after. It's really good.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
think that was so that we're all in agreement for
Yeah.
a freaking cold run.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Let's do 2 more. Make it an even 5.
Big controversy. I want
What?
to disagree.
You want to disagree?
Big
Oh, you want to
controversial
disagree on
ones.
one? How about would you, this one I feel like we might all agree with. Would you rather run a hilly 5K or a flat marathon?
A flat marathon.
Yeah.
I think, like, yeah.
Well, like today, I would rather run a hilly 5K.
So
Okay.
let's put it in perspective that you were trained to do either.
And then I'm always gonna
Like because you're saying today, like if I asked you this question tomorrow, your answer would change. Let's just say
I'm
you're in
saying
a
based on
universe where you could do either.
my current level of fitness, I would pick the hilly 5K because I think I would destroy my body if I jumped right through a marathon right now. Like I
Oh
need
yeah.
cycle.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
okay, I get that. Because
But I feel like
then in perspective, yeah, I would say tomorrow I'd rather do a hilly 5K.
I
But
also feel like stating a flat marathon is almost a misnomer. You can have marathons that are flatter than others, but I was gonna say I've yet to run one that's truly flat, and then I remembered I ran the Long Island Marathon, and that is truly flat.
yeah.
You ran the Long Island Marathon.
My PR is at the Long Island Marathon.
Oh my God, that marathon. Well, especially now that I don't want to say anything bad, but like now that they've changed the course.
They did.
Oh,
Well-
they changed the course completely. Like you don't go on the parkway at all anymore.
Yeah, when I
You
ran
said
it,
you
it was
walked the whole
loop.
time?
13
What?
miles of parkway.
13 miles of parkway then. Now it's just a double loop.
So you just stay in the park the whole time?
No,
So
you
what
like
would you rather?
you go like maybe 3 miles away from the park. You feel like you're going like this the entire time you run.
I like the half marathon course that they do now because I like that that's really easy to spectate. Like Dennis chased us on his bike the last time we did
It's
that,
true.
and it was fun. But doing it twice,
That's my half PR. Is that race?
That's awesome. That's actually that's my second. It's like my second best time. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's not a bad
collapsed after,
course.
but it's fine. Kelly
Yeah.
wouldn't let me stop running.
Yeah, that was a race.
She wouldn't let me walk to take a drink
There
or
were no
walk to
long
do my
breaks in
gels.
this
I had
race.
to keep going because I was silly and told her that I could probably PR on this one. She went,
Oh
if you remember from last episode when I said I don't like telling Kelly my PR, my time goals because then she makes me stick to them.
God.
So there's a picture floating on the internet of me dead on the ground.
Oh God.
For giving the big old thumbs up. He PR'd, he did.
But did you die?
But did you
Little,
die?
I did
Yeah.
I died a little bit.
Okay, guys, we have just a few minutes left, so I'm going to finish it up with a question. What is the shoe that you are running in right now that you are the most excited about? Because maybe you have more than one shoe, but what's your number one at the moment?
Who's going?
You can go.
Okay, so I have a billion pairs of shoes that I run in. I think right now I'm up to 16 pairs that I rotate. Um, I didn't get them yet. I'm the most excited about them though. Topo's Atmos.
I don't,
So
what?
it's a
I don't know that brand at all.
so
Yeah.
Topo is Topo Athletics. It's a brand of sneakers that their sneakers are designed to be foot shaped. So it's not your normal like caged in toe feeling. It's actually like it doesn't like hug your toes. Don't worry, Michael.
No, I'm looking at a picture. It
Um,
look comfy
so
as
it's
anything.
wider in the front where your feet can
Okay.
actually like spread out, so you get more of a natural feeling on your foot. I just ordered a pair. My strength coach, Dr. Drew, has been like raving about them for like a year, and I was finally like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get them. They should be here next week. I'm super excited about those. I also just started running in the Asics Nova Blast 4 last week. I was a huge fan of the 3. The Nova Blast 4 is so freaking comfortable. I know that I'm going to keep it in my rotation at least once a week. That's where I'm at with my shoes. My race day shoe, my speed shoe, all still to be determined. But right now I'm wearing an Endorphin Pro 3 for those.
Okay.
Okay, Mike, what about you? Current favorite shoe?
So I'm at the end of the line with my Brooks Exhilarates. They've kind of got like a little crack in the side of them because they're the
Yeah, the
3D
risk of
printed
the
ones.
BL.
What?
The risk of the BL line, because it's all prototype shoes.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they're such a nice shoe. If they decide to end up going forward more with that line, you'll see me getting more of those. But so I don't know what my next one's gonna be. I'm probably gonna go back to the Brooks Glycerin, the 21s, because I've had like 3 pairs of those now and I love them.
Mhm.
They're like heavy enough that I'm not like falling, but also like light enough that I'm not like overexerting myself while I run.
Yeah, it's like a healthy medium.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm closing us out.
Oh no.
I just got a pair of Ghost 16s. I've been obsessed with the Ghost since 2017, and I continue to be obsessed with the Ghosts. I have other pairs that I've been trying out, but I tend to reach for the Ghosts.
Those are
Those are
so
pretty.
those are pretty. I like
They
the
are
color.
pretty. I was just
They
wearing
are.
them for a run. That's why they were on my feet.
They're very pretty.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Good
Good night.
night.
I'll talk to you in 20 minutes, I'm sure.
Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna text you when we're done.
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.